Hey class, welcome back. Hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. I hope you guys have had a great weekend. Hope you guys are doing well, staying encouraged, staying positive. Want to know I miss you guys. It's not the same as having you guys in class, and I really do miss you guys, and I really enjoy the Zooms. Hope you guys are able to join us this Thursday, the 30th, for our Zoom. And I'm excited to see you guys, and I miss you guys, and I hope that these videos help. This video is going to be pretty quick. It's pretty basic, but I don't want it to be overlooked. So that's why I'm going to do a video for this because it may not be confusing to some. It may be confusing to some. That's okay. But this is foundational for the rest of the chapter that we're moving, at least half of the chapter that we're moving on to. And you're going to see this the further you up, or move up, excuse me, into your math careers. So honestly, 13 is probably one of my favorite chapters. 12 was one of my favorites. 13 is another favorite, but I would probably say it's my favorite. Graphing, I don't know why. I like graphing maybe because I can't draw. So graphing is like as close as I can get to drawing. If you like drawing, chapter 13 will be a fun chapter for you because there is a lot of drawing. In fact, today we're going to draw. So first we're going to talk about relations. Now, we're not talking about relationships, okay? I know this has been the hardest part of being home. I know many are hiding their face like, oh, Mr. Powell, are you really talking about relationships? Yes, I am, okay? Relationships are key. Now, as soon as I say relationships, you're probably automatically thinking boyfriend girlfriend, right? Like, ooh, does he like me? Does she like me? I don't know. Are we boyfriend girlfriend? Yeah. So my biggest advice to you is don't worry about that. You guys are in middle school. Enjoy life, right? You have so much ahead of you. Just enjoy life. Don't get caught up in relationships at least boyfriend girlfriend. Now, um, there are other relationships that I would tell you to focus on. And one, the most important one, is Jesus. Never, never, never neglect your relationship with Jesus. And honestly, that's what Christianity is. It's not a religion, it's a relationship with Jesus. That we have that connection with God, and that's through his son Jesus from what he's done for us. So that should be your number one relationship. But how about your relationship with your parents? It may be getting better or it may be getting worse with you being home, I know. But how is your relationship with your parents, your family, your grandparents, your brother and sister? I know. I know. Being home with your siblings is trying times. My siblings live apart. My brother's in Connecticut, well, and my sister's in Peru. And whenever we come together for Christmas or for holidays, it's all love and joy. But if we're there about a week or more together, the fight's already started. You know it. You know the sibling fight, right? Who drives? At least for us. I don't know. Hopefully you guys don't fight about driving. Depends on how old your sibling is. But how about front seat? Who gets a front seat? Right? There's a lot of the things you can gripe about. But let me encourage you. Focus on those relationships. Focus on the other person instead of yourself. Which I'll be honest, that's what I struggle with. And you can really build your relationships by focusing on the other person rather than ourselves. Now, I'm going to move on from relationships because many probably just turned off the computer. You probably skipped ahead. I know, I'm sorry. But it's actually very foundational for what we're talking about today, how things compare with one another. Our relationship, our working relationship with another person can be used with our talk today. Look at how we compare these relations. This is what we are going to call relation A, which if you look at the definition across the page, I'm looking at your textbook right now. Look across the page on 567. You'll see the definition. A relation is a set or a group of ordered pairs. Ordered pairs are your X and your Y. So in our example here at the bottom of 566, we see relation A. Oftentimes, a relation is named by a letter. So relation A is New York, Albany, okay, there's an ordered pair. Doesn't really look like an ordered pair that we're used to, but the book's using just words for this example. New York, Albany, Colorado, Denver, Michigan, Lansing. Now, what do those have in common? How do those compare? Well, New York compares in Albany. That looks like a capital. Colorado, Denver, that's a capital. Michigan, Lansing, that's state and capital. Lily white, this is a different relation. Relation B, lily white, rose red, tulip pink, iris purple. This looks like flower. In color, look at the last relation. Can you see what this relation would be? If you beat me, let me know. Text me or message me. Let me know if you beat me. It's biblical character and book that they're in. David, 1 Samuel, Paul, and Acts. Now, you could look up here and it kind of gives us the answer, but we're not going to talk about words. Now, your book kind of gives that as an example because we see numbers all the time. But let's look at numbers. For example, here we have a relation D. What is relation D? It's point, now this is 1.16, another point 4, -2, another point 50, and a fourth point -93. Now, we're not going to do anything with graphing them, don't worry. But it's just a set of points. Notice you have this, what we call brace, kind of looks like a brace that you would wear on your teeth. I know if you wear braces, you're already cringing, right? Your teeth are already hurting because of braces. But this is what we call a brace. And the brace groups in the relation. So we're not going to use a parentheses here because that would look weird. Parentheses, parentheses, and then parentheses, parentheses. So we use a different grouping symbol. So that's all that means. So this whole entire thing is what we call relation D. The next one, we see relation E is 0.110, 3, -7, 3, 8, 4, 10, and -5, 9. I missed it. -5, 9. This whole group of points is relation E. So let's take a look at what kind of work we're going to do with these relations. Not very difficult work, okay? Don't get confused. Don't be all distraught. What are these words? I don't know what they mean. It's okay. We're just setting a foundation what a relation is. And it's pretty basic. So you're also going to want to learn the term circle map. We already looked at relation. It's just a group or a set of ordered pairs, just like we saw on the last page. I also want you to know what a grouping or a circle map is. It's a diagram, not like English, but kind of close, represents a relation. So it's a picture that's going to show us the relation. So it shows the x-coordinate in its relation to the y-coordinate. So let's take a look at example E. So if we look back on our book, notice what the points are. 1, 10, 3, -7, 3, 8, 4, 10, -5, 9. And then we look over here, what they've done is they've put all of the x's on this side. This is your x side. They've put all the y numbers on this side. Now, notice what they've done. They've drawn arrows to match which one with which. Now, typically, the way we're going to do this is we're going to put it, they haven't done it in this map. We're going to put it from smallest number to the biggest number. Notice how we do it down here in example 1. This is what I want you to look at. Example 1 says, answer the question about the relation showing the circle map. So what value does 5 map to? So you're going to come over here and you're going to look at 5. And you're going to follow the arrow. 5 maps with -1. So we have the pair 5, 1. So our answer is going to be -1. Pretty simple, right? What's the value that's mapped with 8? Okay, let's find our 8. Here's our 8. What is 8 mapped with? 9. Now, notice the way they've drawn this circle map is they put it from smallest to biggest. Smallest to biggest. This is how you would put your circle map. For example, number 2, it says, write the relation from the circle map in example 1. Okay, so we have all the x's, we have all the y's. Now we have to put it in a relation. So we're going to put, we don't know the name of this relation. You can make up a letter. But let's just say relation P for Powell. So I'm told the first x value, I'm sorry, I want to make sure you can see. I'm going to do the brace, and then I'm going to write my first order pair. Now I'm going to take the 4. I'm just going to go down the axis. So I'm going to start with 4. I know 4 is the x. Now what is the y with the 4? I'm going to follow it down. It's 3. Okay? What's my next one? You can just put a comma if you want. What's my next x? It's a 5. So what's the y that maps with 5? It's a -1. I'm going to have to go down here because I'm running out of space. You can just go straight across if you want. What's the next x? I get a 9. What's the y? 9 and 8. And then I have another x, which is 10. And that maps a 3. We've already used 3. Is that okay? Yes, it is. So this is our answer. As you notice down here, they've listed all the points in the relation. So they could give you a circle map like this and say, what is the relation? And this is what you would write. You would just write down the points that are mapped. Sometimes they'll tell you this, and then you will have to draw this. We'll look at an example of that. Look at the skill check before I move on. It says, find the value of 7. Find the values that map to 7. Could be 1, could be multiple. Find the values that map to 6, and then write the relation. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. You can pause it if you need to. I'm going to get my eraser. You can pause it if you need to, and I'll give you the answers now. Number 1, you should have found, follow the arrow over, and you'll find the answer to be 9. But notice you also have another one, 3 as well. Hopefully you got both 3 and 9. Number 2, let's follow 6, just has one arrow from it. You should have an answer of 5. Notice for number 3, what is the relation? Well, you'll have 5, 6 is 1 point. You'll have 7, 3 is your second point. 7, 9 is your third point. And 8, -4 is your fourth point. You should have 4 points in your answer. So it'll look like this. 5, 3, 7, 5, 6, why? You guys were screaming at me through. I heard it. You should have 5, 6 as your first point. You should have 7, 3 as your other point. You should have 7, 9 as your third point, and then 8, -4 as your last point. So this is the answer to number 3. Now, sometimes they may give you a relation and you're supposed to map it. Now, here they've given you a graph and they've given you the points. Now, they tell you to make a circle map. What do we do? First, we got to get our points. This is the very first thing to do. So we need to write all of our points down. We need to write 3, 5. We need to write 0, 3, and then we'll write -1, -6. All right, we wrote all those points down. Now what do? We have our points 3, 5, 0, 3, and -1, 6. So first thing is I draw my 2 eyes. I like to draw a little smiley face just because it's fun. I mean, why wouldn't you draw a smiley face? Okay, you don't have to if that creeps you out. I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I like drawing a smiley face. Go ahead if you want to. Now, here is the x's. I like putting an x above and a y above just to help me. You don't have to. I normally don't, but for this example, I will. I'm going to put all the x's and all the y's. I'm going to put my first x. I have to put it from smallest to biggest. So I have 3, I have a 0, I have a -1. Which one is the smallest? -1 is the smallest. Next one is 0, and the next one is 3. Notice that's not how they do it on the example. This is how I want you to do it. Put it smallest to greatest, but we're going to get the same answer. It's okay. So then we have to put the y's from smallest to biggest. Let's look at the y's. We have 5, we have 3, we have -6. Well, it's kind of nice because it goes backwards as well. -6 is the smallest. Then we have 3, and then we have 5. Now we have to draw the map. Okay, 3, I started the first point. 3 goes to 5, so I'm going to find my 3, go to 5. Next point is 0.